Phil Hendrie.
Phil Hendrie Show here, 1-800-449-8686 or 1-800-5201-KFI. That's for Orange County, 5201-KFI for L.A. County. We got the Super Bowl coming up this weekend. I don't know if anybody's got any picks. I know that, are you still picking the Steelers, Mike? Good for you. Anyway, you get off the Rams, as I did, and as I have very eloquently, I feel, and very brazenly, I also feel, have said I've got off the Rams because they are a team that abandoned me, broke my heart. 10 years I had season tickets. 10 years. 10 years I used to send my little money in, and 10 years, sometime around early December, they'd send me the little form, do you want to order playoff tickets? And I said, well, how do I know, Generally, when I had season tickets, I had it during the Dickerson, kind of post-Dickerson, the Dickerson-Everett years. It was okay. Dickerson was breaking records. Everett, 86, 87. There were good things going on. So, not that anything really good happened, but, I mean, you had a sense. Kevin Green was with the team then. Fred Strickland was with the team. Some good ball players. And who else did we have in those days? It's just that, great Dennis Harrah. The offensive line was tremendous. We had, Jack Youngblood was playing defensive end. I saw that there was a feature on Jack Youngblood in the Times today. That offensive line had Bill Bain, not that he was any great shakes, but you know what I'm saying. I mean, we had that tight end was David Hill. I think we had Mike Barber, who was a great tight end, and also Pete Holohan. So the team had some fun going on with them. And then for 10 years, like I said, I'd mail my money in dutifully around early December. They'd say, do you think you might want, playoff tickets? And do you guys think you're going to make the playoffs? How about that as a better question? And it would always come back with I'd said they wouldn't send anything back. I'd mail in, do you guys think you'll make the playoffs? They wouldn't send me anything. Generally, I was right in not renewing or not getting those playoff tickets because they generally weren't in the stinking playoffs. And then my friends talked me into getting a membership in that stadium club in Anaheim Stadium. Well, you go down there after the game, and everybody in the place had 12 Monster beers. 12 of those $4 Monster beers, and poor John Robinson had to sit there and answer questions from all these juice hounds. Hey, Coach, you think you're going to play Dwayne Crutchfield more next week? So that was my life for 10 years, going down there to Anaheim, and they sucked, and they left. And, and then we said, okay, well, I'm not going to do it anymore. And now they're in the big game. Again, 20 years later in the big game. What are you going to do? So we're going to remember a little bit of the Super Bowl here this evening. We'd like to mention to you, PhilHenryShow.com is our website. Bill Kiesling, by the way, is a great man. May I make that statement here and now? A great man. Now go to our website and you'll find a link to purchase the Best of the Phil Hendrie Show 1999 CD, of which we have sold $80,000 worth so far. We are also going to plan another radiothon just as soon as I can, hook up with Andrea over at KFI and try and get another radiothon going so that we can maybe sell a few more of these things. $80,000, though, and the only way you can buy it is by logging on to PhilHenryShow.com and purchasing it on the net, on the website. We're not doing any more personal appearances for personal reasons. We don't have any in-store presence for other reasons that I cannot explain, but we do have our website, and we can benefit the great people at My Friend's Place with the sale of our CD there. And for all of you who have purchased a CD, your generosity is so appreciated. 80 G's that's a pretty nice piece of change, and you did it. My Friend's Place is a resource center for homeless and runaway kids in Hollywood, and that's what all the money goes to benefit. $23.50 if you buy it on the website. That's $3.50 shipping and handling, and $20 for the CD, and it all goes to My Friend's Place. PhilHenryShow.com is the place to purchase that, and we're getting that site fixed. Because, as I said, I spent the first few minutes of the show yesterday talking about how much our website really sucks. And it does, but it's going to get better. And, again, I'd like to say that Bill Kiesling is a great man and a great friend of mine. And I'm getting this cold. Are you feeling okay? Are you just getting over this? I'm getting it today. I finally got it. I guess my strong Irish 100 proof blood throat ease. Is this, you're taking this, Craig? Finally couldn't fight off this stinking bug. Although it's not too bad. All it is a tickle in the throat. Is that how it starts? Oh, you mean the 150-degree fever starts with the tickle in the throat. Does it really? Because I feel okay other than that. I've been drinking a little bit of coffee. I took a brandy snifter to work with me. I was doing pops of that on the freeway liberally like Nicolas Cage and Leaving Las Vegas, just kind of dipping the bottle down just as soon as the motor cop comes by. And I was coming in and feeling better and better. Do you think it was the fact that I was drinking and driving? I don't know. No, not at all. But so this weekend I'll spend watching football, and we'll see how we feel on Monday. So we got that for you. We also have a visit from, I believe, Steve Bozell this evening on the Phil Hendrie Show. We're going to have a visit from Dave Oliva. He's got a big Super Bowl party planned. We going out at 40? 50. We're going out at 50? He's got a big Super Bowl party planned. And all of that and more coming up tonight on the Phil Hendrie Show at 1-800-449-8686. 1-800-449-8686.
Phil Hendrie Show coming down the line in 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3.
If you begin to feel overload, you will begin to feel what we are saying. If you begin to feel overload, consider your Earth. What do you feel?
Phil Hendrie Show, 1-800-449-8686. What's that from? Is that Matrix? That sucks, too. Okay, that's good. That's good. Keep that. Phil Hendrie Show here, 1-800-449-8686. Did we collect any of the Doug Danger? Are those airable tonight? I know Doug Danger is going to be along later on for a feature, Doug Danger's comment line. And we'll have that perhaps later on. The result of Doug being on the program last night and saying essentially that gay men and gay affiliates, meaning lesbians, were the only ones with the guts enough to tell somebody to turn their cell phone off in a movie theater. And we may get the response of our comment line on that coming up later on in the program. I just got done reading a very interesting book called The Messenger, The Rise and Fall of Elijah Muhammad. It was written by a guy named Carl Evans. And it's the history, as seen through the eyes of this author, not only of the Nation of Islam, but the history of the involvement of Elijah Muhammad. Now, most of you probably don't know what it is I'm talking about. That's fine. I'll tell you what I'm talking about. I'm talking about a movement, a religious political movement among African Americans beginning around the earlier part of the century. Nation of Islam didn't really come into existence until the 30s. Now, what you know of Nation of Islam, you're thinking Louis Farrakhan. I say Louis, with all due respect, Louis Farrakhan. And that may very well bring up a distaste in many of you, because many of you are white and Jewish. This organization, Nation of Islam, founded by Elijah Muhammad, after he met a guy by the name of Wallace Fard Muhammad, was a movement of African Americans, and it was a movement of political and social and religious edge, the likes of which the country had never seen before. See, this is my thing, history, and I think it's really funny. I mean, I laugh myself sick when I listen to some of these jive-ass guys talk about the good old days in America. Anybody that says the good old days in America has never read history, doesn't know anything about history, doesn't know anything about the country. Reading this book, you find out that there were race riots in Harlem in the 30s, race riots in Detroit in the 40s during the war, FBI surveillance of the Nation of Islam that was well beyond the pale of legality. Whether or not you liked their politics, whether or not you thought that they were the right or the wrong, well beyond the pale of any legality. Interesting book. A lot of the thing. What?
I want to put on music for you.
All right, put on some music because I don't have my headphones. Bud Dickman is in the studio right now. What do you want to do?
Put on. It's very interesting. You're talking about Nation of Islam. I thought I'd play some music appropriate to it.
That's a good idea, Bud. Go ahead.
You don't have your headphones?
I don't have them. Go ahead and just ride the music underneath me. So.
All right, I got a CD here. I think it'd be good.
Okay. So the Nation of Islam was something that, in many, many ways, was a political, social, and religious movement in this country. The black Muslims were... Why are people laughing out there?
No, don't worry about it.
Is this music that's...
It's fine.
The Nation of Islam was... There's people standing in the hallway who are laughing. What are you doing?
I'm not doing anything. I don't know what they're laughing about.
You're playing music appropriate to me talking about Nation of Islam, right?
Yeah.
Because you don't know what you're messing with, bud. Is this appropriate or is it not?
Yes, it is. It is.
All right.
I don't know what they're laughing at, Phil. I'm in here. How would I know they're laughing at?
Okay. Malcolm X, as you know, was a member of the Nation of Islam and split with them in 1965. There's people standing out there laughing. I want to know what they're laughing at.
I don't know. I'm in here. I can't. You want me to go out and find out?
No, forget it.
Go ahead. Talk about the black Muslim, the Muslim movement.
It's not the Muslim movement. Muslin is a fabric. The black Muslims.
What they do?
It's very interesting. The black Muslims began, as I said, a political, social, and religious movement in this country of self-determination for African Americans. Now, a lot of the philosophy that they taught...
were they the ones that taught about how the white people are devils?
Yes, the early manifestation of Nation of Islam taught that the white man was a devil who was descended many, many generations away from black people.
Yeah, go ahead. Keep talking about the black people.
What music are you playing, man? Because I don't have any headphones.
I'm playing African music.
African music.
Yeah.
There were a lot of people who believed that the FBI involvement in their surveillance got Malcolm X killed. I, after reading this book, would be one who seconds that thought and feeling. And certainly after the very dynamic leadership of a Malcolm X, the Nation of Islam began to... There's people standing out there laughing, man. What music are you playing?
No, don't worry about it.
Give me the headphones.
No, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. It's
what is it?
It's African drum music.
African drum music.
Yeah.
All right. In 1975, Elijah Muhammad, who was the founder of the Nation of Islam, passed on.
Talk about a lot about black people and stuff.
What do you think I'm doing, man?
Talk about it.
What do you think I'm doing, okay?
Yeah, I like it.
In 1965, Elijah Muhammad passed on, which began a power struggle in the Nation of Islam. And
what black guy runs it down?
What black guy runs it now? Louis Farrakhan.
Louis Farrakhan, he's black, right?
Yes.
All right.
He runs it now, at least a manifestation. There are many splinter organizations. Many feel, including the author Carl Evans, that once Malcolm X died, the entire Nation of Islam splintered, and all these splinter groups were sort of devolving away from the original principles taught by... Why are they... Give me the headphones. Give me these. What are you doing to me?
I thought it was African.
You thought Danny Boy was African?
I just grabbed a CD.
You're playing Irish music, man. I'm talking about the Nation of Islam. You want to get me killed?
What's so bad about this? It's African.
It ain't African. It's Danny Boy.
We didn't get you killed.
These are the guys that shot Malcolm X, man. I'm on here. You think they killed Malcolm X? They'll come after a white boy here, talking about him and playing Danny Boy?
I think it's very appropriate.
How do you figure Danny Boy is very appropriate to me rapping about Nation of freaking Islam?
Don't be so paranoid.
Oh, really? Well, you ought to read the book that I just read.
Don't be paranoid.
Look, at the next time I ask you to give me some appropriate music for what I'm talking about, do it. Are you nuts?
Then in Danny Boy from Africa?
Isn't Danny Boy from Africa? No, man. No. He's from Ireland.
He's white.
That's right.
Why are you afraid of the black one? What are you afraid of the black one for?
What am I afraid of the black one for? I'm not afraid of the black one. I'm just saying, I'm talking about a very extreme organization of people. Just the next time I want something, play African, don't play Danny Boy.
Well, what an asshole, man. That's too bad.
Yeah, it's too bad, bud. It's too bad. One of these days, I'm firing you. I'm sorry. Anyway, the Nation of Islam was an organization of people who, for whatever reason, began their... Will you turn it off, please?
Man, it's African.
No, it ain't, man. Let me see what you got. Let me see it.
Wait a minute.
Let me see it. The Three Irish Tenors. It's the Phil Hendrie Show, 1-800-449-8686.
What are you afraid of?
Phil Hendrie Show, 1-800-449-8686. Hi, it's Friday night. We have our Super Bowl weekend coming up. It's going to be a good time. We're going to a party on Sunday, and it's like one of these chili cook-offs. And it's one of those chili cook-offs where I can see it coming. It's going to be lousy chili. I say this with all due respect. These people that we're going to be partying with, they don't know from chili. I just know it. I feel it in my gut. We had an hors d'oeuvre party with these people once. An hors d'oeuvre party. Cubes of cheese on a Ritz cracker, So you're going to go to a chili party. So what do you want? You want to take some of the canned pinto beans and throw it in tomato sauce and throw some Tabasco in there. Hey, I got some chili. So anyway, Maria makes this stuff that it burns going in, it burns coming out, it burns while it's sitting in there. You never really digest it. That'll be fun. So we'll do a little open phone here for this, our inaugural Friday before Super Bowl on the Phil Hendrie Radio Show. 1-800-449-8686. 1-800-449-8686. Whatever's on your mind, we'll take some phone calls and see what you guys are up to this evening. And if you want to talk Super Bowl, we're going to get in a little bit of that later on. If you want to talk about President Clinton's State of the Union speech, of course, that was very pivotal for so many people. And a lot of people who were, very much into hearing what the president had to say, this being his last State of the Union address. I thought that I heard some repeated comments. It was interesting. It was very interesting to me. A lot of the stuff he said was very interesting. So 1-800-449-8686. See what you got to say tonight. Hi, you're on the Phil Hendrie Show.
What?
Yes, sir. Hello.
Hi, Phil. How you doing?
Good.
I want to ask you a question, and I'll ask you this question because I had tried to call in on another program, and I could not get through, and I know that you have 4 children of your own, correct?
I'm a stepdad. I have 4 stepkids.
Well, I think that's about the same thing.
Yeah, there's, it's not the same thing, but I'm responsible for kids, for the well-being of the kids.
Well, I have a question for you, and I want to ask you this question based upon your experience. Now, I heard you say once that you had 3 boys in your family, right?
I have 3 stepsons, yes. There's a 14-year-old, a 12-year-old, and a 10-year-old, yes.
Have you ever had a boy of yours who you were responsible for raising up and being an example of a man to? Have you ever had that boy call you a pussy, or look at you into your face and call you a pussy, or call you a...
I have never had that, no.
And that was what I was talking to.
Do you have sons?
I have a 12-year-old boy, and I never thought that I'd live to hear my eldest boy call me a pussy, call me a weenie.
Well, what did he call you exactly?
My eldest boy called me a weenie over at a skate party that we had for a neighbor boy. It was his birthday party. But that, in teenager code, is the same as pussy.
You call that teenager code?
You call someone a weenie, you call them a pussy. And I wanted to know if you'd ever had that happen to you.
Did that hurt? I guess it hurt, right?
It very much hurt me because up to that point I thought I was very close to my boy. And I was, it was a birthday party for one of our neighbor's sons. We had a group of 10 kids, and there were 4 adults, and we went over to Corona Skate, which is a skate rink close by. And I did not know that Ray and Connie had brought along inline skates.
Did your boy call you a weenie? You say he called you a weenie or a pussy?
He called me a weenie.
But you say that is teenager code for pussy.
I believe it is. Yes, sir. If you know anything about, if you know anything about kids, you know that's true.
So you're at a skate party. You're close to your kid. I understand what you're saying. You're at a skate party, and something happened to prompt this?
Well, yes, sir. We were at a skate party. And I've always been a very, very good roller skater. Ever since I was young. Back in the day, I don't want to talk. I'm 38 years old now, but back in the day when I was a teenager, I used to do roller boogie, did the crossover, backward skate, did a lot of roller dance.
That was kind of a weird phase of American cultural history, that whole roller dance thing. So, in other words, you would listen to disco music.
I'd listen to very many of the disco classics. I enjoyed immensely, and I did the backward, did the crossover.
So you did roller dance.
It's called roller dance or roller boogie, yeah. So I was pretty good, but Ray and Connie had brought these inline skates. If you're familiar with inline skates, they are almost like an ice skate.
Well, the wheels are 1, 2, 3 in front and back of each other, like an ice skate's blade.
That is correct. And the roller skates that I'm most familiar with are the four-wheel side-by-side skates.
Which are the traditional ones, right?
Yes, sir. Those are the ones that I grew up on. And
I remember my sister had the side-by-sides, and I've only seen inline skates. Those what else do they call inline skates? Rollerblades, yeah.
They call rollerblades because a lot of the kids still will play roller hockey.
Yeah, they play street hockey.
Right, on the skates. But I had the four-wheel side-by-side that Ray and Connie Kuntz, who were my next-door neighbors, and it was their son's party. So there's 4 adults, my wife, myself, Ray and Connie, and I had never been on inline skates. And I gave it a good shot. I tried very hard, but it just was not my thing. And as I went out a few times out in the rink, and I fell. I went to my knees probably 3-4 times before I, looked up, and I could see that people had been laughing, which I don't know if you've ever had that happen to you, but when you so very much want to have fun with your family and you want to impress your family, your wife and your boy, that you know how to do something well, and you fall. It brought me to my knees 3-4 times. I fell down. Then you look up, and you know they had just been laughing at you, and that kind of hurt. So,
Did you see them laughing?
I know that they were staring at me, and I know that they were laughing at me, but I was going to get me the other skates so I could have some fun. So I got rid of the inline skate. I went over, asked for the 4x4s.
The 4x4s, the wheels?
The wheels beside each other. My son skates over, and he says to me, "Dad, don't be such a weenie," which was, he might as well call me a pussy. And I'll tell you, I never thought I'd live to hear my eldest boy call me a pussy. I did what I could. I went back out onto the rink, but the thought echoed in my head about my boy calling me a pussy, and I could not make it through.
When you say you couldn't make it through, sir, you're on your roller skates. Were you fine?
I was fine on those skates, but just hearing my boy call me a pussy, I have made it to the restroom, and then I broke down.
We said, were you crying?
I broke down, yeah. You see, that boy is my boy. He's my son. And he's meant the world to me. And I wanted to get out there to that birthday party, and I had told him all about how I knew how to roller boogie. And all about...
So you told him about your stories as a young man, roller dancing and everything, and the next thing you know, you're on inline skates instead of the skates you're used to, and you couldn't stand up.
I couldn't stand up on them, and it broke my heart, Mr. Hendrie, to hear him call me a pussy.
But he called you a weenie, right?
But you see, that's teenager code. And
all right, please hold on, sir, so we can give your call due consideration. Phil Hendrie Show here with a caller whose son he thinks called him a pussy. His son called him a weenie. 1-800-449-8686, 1-800-449-8686. They were over at Corona Skate. That's that roller rink that I'm sure you go to, Mike. And we'll be back. 1-800-449-8686. Phil Hendrie Show at 1-800-449-8686. Go to philhendrieshow.com. Check out our website and try to see if you can't find your way clear in your heart to purchase our Best of the 1999 Phil Hendrie Show CD. Communism is neat. All the proceeds go to my friend's place, a resource center for homeless kids in Hollywood. We've raised almost $80,000 this year. We're very proud of that. Now, I could do one of these things where last year's record is $170K, and can we break it? But I'm not going to put that pressure on myself. It's got nothing to do with putting pressure on you guys. I ain't going to do some Chabad telethon here. Look, we're going to break the record from last year. It's whatever you can do, okay? If we break it, great. If we don't, we don't. But we appreciate all the money. 1-800-449-8686. Now, get this guy. Sir.
Yes, sir.
All right, we're back with you, and what we do sometimes during open phones is we'll get calls from people on the comments you're making.
I've listened to your program, and I'm not here to, I don't want to set my family up for any ridicule, but I do care very much about being laughed at. And I care very much.
Well, you say that your boy called you a pussy. He actually called you a weenie, right?
He called me, that's teenage talk for a pussy. That's one of the things I need to make clear with you. If any of your sons ever call you a weenie, he's calling you a pussy. And you can take it from me, because I've put up with a lot, in my life. And the other thing, too, is I wanted to show my boy how to be a good skater, and there I was falling all over on myself. So it hurt me very deeply.
Well, let me go I got a phone call here in Oregon. Where are you calling from?
I'm in Corona.
You're in Corona, California. All right, here is Salem on the Phil Hendrie Show. Hello?
Hi.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, I was just wanting to make a comment. I am 21 years old, and I have a sister that is 11 and a sister that is 10. When we get together and there's a bunch of kids around and stuff, they'll make jokes and call me a dork and, tease me a bit, but yet I know that they still look up to me. We still
well,
have
the other thing was that when I went down on the skate there, I could see that they'd been laughing, you see. And I had told my boy that I don't know how old you are, but I'm old enough to remember when we used to roller boogie. And I told my boy how good I was. And I did not know they'd be using inline skates.
Yeah, but I think when you're in an instance like that and you've never been on them before, you should kind of take it with a smile and not get so upset over the fact. I mean, my sisters and I have a close relationship. If you have a close relationship with your son, I don't think you should take it so literally as far as him calling you a pussy.
No, my attorney said the same thing, and I think, Mr. Hendrie, if I could say this, and I don't mean anything against the lady, but our judicial system is broken, and we need to fix it.
Why did you consult an attorney?
I felt that there was grounds for some legal action against the man who had given these inline skates to me because he knew or should have known that I would be embarrassed. Now, I got on my phone. I got on the phone to Richard Geeson, who is my attorney, and I was on the phone with him for 2.5 hours, seeing if there was some way I could sue, and he told me there was no chance. I made it through 2.5 hours of conversation, then I broke down. I got off the phone and I just...
You cried?
Why?
Is your son in trouble?
Our system's not working. I'm sorry?
Is your son in trouble? Is he stealing? Is he skipping school? Is he...
Why would he call me a pussy? Which is very offensive, I think.
You wanted to sue your next-door neighbor for what?
Because he made me look like a fool.
But you got on him voluntarily. I mean, you were the one who put them on.
But he was laughing at me. He knew I told my boy all about being a roller boogie. And
how do you know that?
I'm sorry?
How do you know that he was telling your son, or that you were telling your son about roller boogie?
Oh, I think it's pretty evident that he was trying to make me look like a fool.
I don't think that was the thing. I think that, you know what, it's like you chose to get on the skates, and you know what, though, you're taking things way too seriously. I have made a jerk out of myself so many times, but you have to have a sense of humor about it.
Well,
I've tripped and fallen in front of millions of people, and it's like,
millions
you know what,
of people?
You have to put a smile on your face, and you have to realize that life is too short to take things so seriously.
Ma'am, are you famous?
No.
Oh, you said you tripped in front of millions of people. I thought maybe you were a figure skater or something, you know.
No, not yet.
What'd she say?
No, she's not.
Well, I went on the blades, and I fell. I called my attorney. He told me he would not pursue any lawsuit, and I broke down.
Is your son a good kid, though? Do you and your son have a close relationship?
Do you call a boy that calls you a pussy? I don't know. But I'm proud of him, yeah. Up until that time, I thought he was good till he called me pussified.
He didn't call you pussified. He said weenie.
And that is teenage talk.
Okay, so my sisters call me a dork all the time, but yet they admire me. They want me to come with them.
That's teen talk for slut or something like that. I don't think you should let.
What did calling her sisters call her a dork?
That is teen talk, and that is teenage code.
My sisters aren't. No.
For a slut.
No.
Don't get pushed around by your sisters.
No, I don't get pushed around my sisters. My sisters have so much respect for me.
Okay,
but you know what?
I think you're getting overboard when you say the dork is teenage code for slut.
Sir?
When my sisters get together with their friends,
they
a bunch of 9 and 10-year-olds, they start to try and act cool, and they try and act like,
Right.
they're trying to impress their friends. So they'll be like, oh, you're such a dork, And I know that they are only saying that
means
because
slut.
their friends around.
It doesn't mean slut. I don't think it means slut, and I think that's an overreaction on your part. Thank you for your call, ma'am. 1-800-449-8686. Vancouver on the Phil Hendrie Show. Hello.
Hello, how you doing?
Yes.
I am under the impression this guy's way off base. This idea that every word has a secret meaning to a teenager.
Do you have a son, sir?
I have 4 sons.
All right. Have you ever had a boy that you wanted to be the example of a man to look at you and call you a pussy?
No, I don't. He did not call you a pussy. That's where you're so far off base. You said that you built this kid up with the idea that you were this roller boogier, and he probably sat there telling your kids, his friends, wait till you see my dad out there. He was probably let down a lot.
Yeah, and so he turns around and calls me a pussy.
He called you
a pussy.
He called you a weenie, and not because you fell down on your rear end, but because
I had to trade in the skates. I'd never been on inline skates.
I agree with that. I'm snowboarding with my kids. I'm a great skier, but I can't snowboard with a dam. We had fun. We laughed. They laughed at me.
See, I would never stand for that.
Well, see, that's why
you let your boy. Now let me just get this straight. Your boys laugh at you.
No, they're laughing at the situation. Yeah, I look ridiculous.
See, they try
I'll
to
tell
make
you what, though, I get them on the skis. I'll ski them right down the bottom of the hill.
They're making you look like a fool.
No, they're not.
I'm interested in this conversation.
This is all part of growing up. It's part of an example of getting together with your children and being able to laugh at. Have you ever laughed at your kid because he did something? Have you ever chuckled because he fell trying to do something?
No, sir. I would not do that to my boy. I called my attorney, Richard Gayson, and I was on the phone with him for 2.5 hours to see if there was legal action. And
I think you're way off base with this legal action thing. Who are you going to You're going to sue your next door neighbor?
I was on the phone for 2. I don't know why you think I'm off base. Okay.
Well, I'd like to know who wrote this dictionary you're reading out of, as far as what every term means. In this teen talk.
I worked at our teen center locally for 2 summers, and I heard.
And these teens sit there and say, "Well, when we say you're a pussy or you're a weenie, you're really a pussy. If you're a dork, you're a slut."
Well, they didn't say it to me directly, but I would overhear this, and I did a little bit of surveillance on some of the teens who were in there. Because
I'm sorry, but I think you need some serious help.
I beg your pardon, sir.
I think you need some serious help. If you're.
Are you saying that I need a psychiatrist?
That might not be a far out of base right now.
Well, I don't know if
this man is saying that I need a psychiatrist. So you see, the abuse doesn't stop. My son calls me a pussy.
And I'm not a teen. No, he didn't call you a pussy. He called you a weenie.
He called you a weenie.
There's a big difference.
Hey, you let your boy call you a weenie or pussified. Or a weenmeister, or whatever these kids like to say. And
pussified and weenmeister. Your boy called you the word weenie, which is W-E-E-N-I-E. It doesn't mean pussified.
Which means,
it means
he was actually probably begging you.
He was challenging you to, come on, Dad. Try
put the blades on. Come on, be out there. Don't be a weenie. Be out there with us. He was probably begging you at that point to be out there with us.
He called me a pussy.
No, I'm sorry.
Man, I think that I wouldn't suggest psychiatric help, but I would say that you are, as the young man said, taking a little too far out. Los Angeles on the Phil Hendrie Show. Hello. Los Angeles.
Oh, hello?
Yes, hi.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that he didn't even call you a pussy. He called you, and I don't even think, unless I'm mistaken, he didn't even call you a weenie. He said, don't be a weenie,
How old are you, son?
I'm 11.
Have you ever called your father pussified?
Heck no.
Have you ever said to your dad, you're a weenmeister or a weenmaster?
No.
Or a master of the ween? Or anything like that?
Your son didn't say that you were the master of the ween or a ween master. He said you were a weenie.
Oh, man. I want my boy to be proud of me.
He's just trying to, he's just trying to encourage you to get back up and try another shot. And he's trying to make you, instead of just saying no, he's trying to make you get, as angry as you can so that you will try and...
Well, what happened? You say they were laughing at you, right?
Yes, sir. I went over the boards backwards, and I know they laughed. because I was trying to do the crossover. I used to do the roller boogie and roller dancing.
And you went over one of the boards backwards?
Yeah, my feet sticking up in the air and everything. And I heard them laughing. I knew they were laughing. I got up there, and I broke down. I went into the bathroom and wept.
But see, even if your first time on inline skates, I mean, it's not your fault. I mean, I tried first skates on even the 4x4s, as you call them, and I think they're hard. I mean...
You said I looked gay.
He said that?
Yeah.
Now that's that.
Well, he called me a weenie, but that means I'm looking gay.
No, he didn't even...
Yeah.
You said that
Haven't your friends ever called you a weenie?
Yeah?
That means you look like a gay boy.
No, it does not. It does not.
I mean, even when friends say it to each other, they don't really mean it. They're just kidding around anyway. I mean, if your son wouldn't even call you that because he know he'd get in deep trouble.
Oh man, I'm so pissed. I got off the phone with a lawyer. I said, "Can I sue?" He said, "No." I broke down as soon as I hung up the phone.
You're breaking down in the roller rink. You broke down with your attorney. Is that right?
I broke down, yeah.
But your next door neighbor has nothing to do with this. Your son said, "Don't be a weenie." What does your next door neighbor have to do with this?
He was laughing about it. He knew.
But I mean,
he put me in the position of having to put on inline skates and looking like pussified.
He didn't make you.
But he put me in a position to be laughed at.
Look, how old are you? How old are you, young man?
11.
This is an 11-year-old guy. He's 1 year younger than your son, okay? He's trying to tell you that your son cares about you, and he didn't call you pussified. And what is this lawyer? The lawyer is what is your lawyer's name?
Richard Geeson.
Well, your lawyer's right on. You have no case.
People laugh at other people all the time. I mean, just one world, you know?
All right, thank you very much for your call. 1-800-449-8686. This is the Phil Hendrie Show. 1-800-449-8686. Phil Hendrie Show, 1-800-449-8686. Okay, Mr. I don't even know your last name.
No, my name is Stephen Bozell of Corona, California.
Okay, you took the liberty of recording your conversation with your attorney.
I felt that I needed to record it so that I had a record of my conversation with all the people following this.
Now, your son called you a weenie. The skates you were given by your friend were inline, so you fell on your rear end, I guess. You have a recording that you want to play for us, sir?
Yes, I do.
Okay, this is a recording of Mr. Bozell, I guess, on the phone with his attorney.
Yeah, Richard, how's it look? How's it look, Richard? Well, no, sir, he gave me inline skates. I fell on my ass. Yeah, I look like a fool out there. I want to know, is there any lawsuit at all? Can we sue? We can't?
Okay, that's all we have there. Was that you, Mr. Bozell?
That was me talking to my attorney, and
you did break down, didn't you?
Yes, sir, I did, because being called a name by your boy it's just a hard thing for me to live with. That's all I'm saying.
All right, here is Portland on the Phil Hendrie Show. Portland, hello.
Hi.
Yes.
You know, your son's calling you a weenie.
Why are you laughing?
I thought that it was funny listening to you. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Your son's calling you a weenie, but I'm calling you a pussy.
So what am I supposed to do?
You're supposed to accept it and move on.
Why am I a pussy?
Because you are. Hey, I have a question for you. Is your mother also your aunt?
Why?
Well, anybody that go to a lawyer to sue their own son is a pussy and also an inbred.
Why?
I just told you.
You know something, lady? You
what?
got a lot of guts. Because you're all the way up in Portland, Oregon, aren't you?
Why don't you come up to Portland and I'll kick your ass myself
You
on
kick
those
my
kids.
ass? My son called me a pussy.
He's right.
And no boy should call his father that.
Your boy should call you that, and I'm calling you that.
Yeah, well, you're a girl, so it doesn't count. You're a girl, it doesn't count.
Oh, she's a girl, it doesn't count.
No, it doesn't.
Why?
Because she knows I can't touch her. You know that no guy will be allowed legally to hit you. God, I hate you.
Why don't you cry? Why don't you cry about it?
Let
Why
me
don't
tell
you
you
cry to
something.
your mom?
The day that you become a mother and your daughter calls you a slut, then you don't
Why
come
don't you cry to your mommy, pussy?
I mean, Steve, you kind of brought it on yourself.
Please hang up on her.
I will.
Are you crying?
Please hang up.
Are you crying yet?
You know what, lady? You can go straight to hell. How about that? How do you feel about that?
Oh, man, I wish I was there to pass you a tissue, give you your bottle.
Don't make me go through this anymore.
Oh.
Okay, I can get in the car and drive to Portland.
I'll kick your ass.
You kick my ass.
I'll kick your ass as soon as you get to Portland, buddy.
Hey, lady, you know what? You can go straight to hell.
Are you
All
crying?
right. Okay, the point's made. I don't think you're getting a lot of sympathy tonight.
You don't understand when a boy calls you a pussy.
Well, that phone conversation with your lawyer where you broke down and wept, what was that about?
I kept that as a record, sir. I kept that as a record. And he said that I had no case, and that's enough to make any man cry.
Bessemer City on the Phil Hendrie Show. Hello.
Hey, how you doing? Listen, I mean, look, don't take me as being rude or nothing like that, but I can understand why he called you a weenie. I mean, it's not being mean or hateful or anything like that, but if you're going to cry at the skating rink because you couldn't get up and, do it.
No, because they were laughing at me.
Well, people laugh at me every day.
Okay, buddy, and you take it? I don't take it.
Well, I don't
People
break down
laughing at
and
you
cry
every day.
about
Why?
it.
Why are they laughing at you?
Huh?
Why are they laughing at you?
Well, because I do a lot of stupid stuff. I mean, I do a lot of stupid stuff.
Well, I believe it.
I'm
okay.
semi.
Buddy, you go right ahead and you do all that stupid ass stuff, okay?
Well,
I will not let no boy laugh at me, all right?
Okay,
Thank you very much. You can hang up on him.
Well, listen
All right.
to me.
What kind of stupid stuff do you do?
Well, I'm semi-clumsy, but...
Well, what does that mean, you're
I've had accidents at work. I've done some things.
What are you missing? What are you missing, a leg or something?
Yeah, he probably cut off his own leg. I bet you cut off your own thing, didn't you?
Look, your problem, dude, you got an inferiority complex.
No, I got no
inferiority complex. You shouldn't have called a lawyer.
Yeah,
You should have called a
lawyer.
doctor or somebody, because anybody's going to cry to a lawyer because he can't skate on something he's never tried to do
No,
before.
because I wanted to sue. I wanted to sue, all right? You want to be a pussy, that's your business. I'm not a pussy, and I won't let my boy call me one either.
I'm not the one crying to a lawyer. I'm not the one crying to anybody else because I couldn't do something.
Do we have that on tape? We have that on tape. Roll that back.
What are you rolling back?
I want to roll back the conversation with your attorney.
Yeah, Dick, what's it look like? Huh? I can't sue him?
Okay. Now, did you hear that?
Yes, sir, that was me.
Are you proud of that?
What am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to do when I'm confronted with that kind of hell? That's my question for you, and I guess you don't have an answer, do you?
Suck it up like a man. There's an answer for you. Atlanta on the Phil Hendrie Show.
Yeah, I can't believe this guy. I just wanted to make a comment that, if,
okay, I can't take this anymore.
Okay, he hung up.
Oh, I can't believe he hung up.
Phil Hendrie Show here, 1-800-449-8686. Huh? What? Oh, sorry. We can't get him back on. Oh, I don't care whether we get him back on or not. I couldn't take, I was going to hang up on him if he didn't hang up on me. What a pussy. And now it's time for NFL The hell is this?
That's football.
That ain't football music.
That's the NFL.
You're going to get me shot by black Muslims, and you're going to make me look as foolish as that Steve guy while I'm talking about NFL football with When Irish Eyes Are Smiling. So bug off, okay, bud?
You're mean. You're mean.
Yeah, I'm mean. I'm as mean can be when it comes to you, to quote the great Steve, making me look like a fool. Hi, Phil Hendrie here. 1-800-44... What is this? That sucks, too. 1-800-449-8686. The Monday Night Football theme would be nice. Go ahead. There you go. We're going to be talking about football, and I'll tell you, it's going to be a fantastic... All right, forget it, man. Do open phones. Do something. Go over there and answer some phones, okay?
Want you screen a call?
Go answer some phones. 1-800-449-8686. Is this line... What is with this? Hello? No, of course not, because it was hung up. It's a new studio. Anyway, 1-800-449-8686. I'm sorry. It's, again, technical problems that I thought we didn't have that many, but I guess we've got more than our fair share. It's okay, bud. No more Irish music. Go answer a telephone. When I'm talking about football, give me the Monday Night Football theme, and then go out and grab me a cup of coffee and make yourself useful. Go find out if the world's blown up or anything, any late-breaking news crap, okay?
I got a newsroom.
Yeah, you go into the newsroom, man, that we don't have. Go ahead. You go look for it, all right?
All right, I'll go find it.
All right, Phil Hendrie Show. We're going to do open lines here at 1-800-449-8686. 1-800-449-8686. Hi, you're on the Phil Hendrie Show. Hello?
Yeah, hi. I'm calling from Anchorage, Alaska.
Yes, sir.
You're new
Anchorage,
up there, but
Anchorage, Alaska. Anchorage, Alaska, huh? You know, the other night we were trying to find out whether you guys were actually hearing the show or not.
Yeah, we're actually hearing the show.
When did it start?
I don't know. I've picked it up twice now. Maybe a week or two ago. They preempted Tom Likas for you, I believe.
Oh, good move.
Yeah. Question I had though, and I don't know if this will not to upset anybody, but I've listened twice, or I caught two of them. And the guy that was calling about the upset kid, or the kid calling him a name,
calling him a
strangely
weenie.
Familiar is the Tom Bell that called the other day.
No, two different guys.
You sure about that?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, just checking because it seemed like it was playing on.
So what do you do in Anchorage? What are you doing up there?
That's not important. I was just double.
Yeah, it's important to me. It's important to me. What are you doing up in Anchorage?
I'm sorry. I'm not going to talk about that.
Okay, well,
double check.
Bug off. Do us a favor. Drop the show in Anchorage, okay? No, that's not important, sir. All right, you work in a mini-mart. Gee, what's wrong with me asking him what do you do in Anchorage, Alaska? Guy's coming up and giving me the third degree, and I ask him what he's doing for a living in Anchorage, Alaska, and the cat doesn't want to answer the question. That's not important, he says. Well, maybe it's not important to you. Hey, if it ain't important to you, it ain't important to me. How about that? 1-800-449-8686. Phil Hendrie Show. Let's go to Los Angeles. Hello.
Oh, how you doing, Phil?
Good.
Got a pretty crazy show tonight. I was called about that Steve guy. He was, kind of messed up. I guess he's not there anymore.
No, sir, he's not.
Well, he was. I heard you talking earlier about the Super Bowl, and I wanted to check in on that because my girlfriend and I had a big fight. She's also the mother of my 6-month-old daughter. She left our house today because we had a big fight over what you were talking earlier about the Super Bowl. And
Did you have a fight over the Super Bowl? You ain't calling from Anchorage, by the way, are you?
No, man. I just. I'll call back later.
No, it's okay. Go ahead. So you had a big fight?
Yeah, we had a fight about what we had a fight about was that I'm Latino and I'm very proud, and my girlfriend and I, every year we have a Super Bowl party, and my girlfriend is like Anglo, but she grew up in the Latino community. Her mom is Latina, but her dad is white. So I've tried to keep her, immersed in our culture as much as I can. And what we eat on Super Bowl Sunday, is we have a pretty standard fare, which is tortilla strips and salsa, which is a salsa recipe that my aunt made. It's got, baked peppers, and it's got, onions. And
so, what did your girlfriend and you have a fight over the salsa?
Well, what happened was that she wants to serve onion dip and chips, and I said, man, that is so you're whitewashing your whole culture, And she wanted to have potato chips and onion dip, and what's up with onion dip intruding in our proud Mexican heritage is what I said. So some of my friends said that they liked the onion dip, and my homeboys turned against me, and my girlfriend turned against me, because every time. On Super Bowl Sunday.
Well, what do you guys have on Super Bowl Sunday? What is the food that you eat?
On Super Bowl Sunday?
Yeah.
We have tortilla strips. Budweiser. We make some sandwiches. And we have salsa. Sometimes we'll have, some tequila or something. But, we always try to keep our culture alive. And what happened was we had this fight.
So your girlfriend picked up the baby and left. Why?
My girlfriend picked up the baby because she wanted to have onion dip at the Super Bowl party, and I said that you're you're whitewashing your culture. And because, and the other thing is you can't have tortilla strips and onion dip, So
why did she leave?
Because I told her that we're not having no onion dip, and I didn't want her compromising our Latin heritage, Onion dip and potato chip, which is so funky, I can't even stand it,
So your girlfriend left because you wouldn't let her have onion dip?
No, well, we had a big fight about our heritage, I'm talking about being Latino and being proud, tapatio and taco sauce, some picante sauce.
What do you put sour cream? Well, you put some sour cream on on what?
Well, chili rellenos or something, or use sour cream, for that, or for like nachos or something. But onion dip is funky, and so no.
Well, look, buddy, your girlfriend split because you had an argument over your Latin heritage. Okay?
No, it's about the onion dip too. And
okay, she split over the onion dip.
Well, I wanted to know if I could say something to her because she listens to your show. And
well, if it'll get you and your girlfriend back together again. Where are you, in Los Angeles?
Yes, sir. I'm in L.A. right now, and I wanted to say to my girlfriend, Christina, I want you to see how you've been wrong. Christina, I love you very much. Please come home so we can have our party. I don't want to argue about it no more. So please come home with no onion dip. And you know that the onion dip is not for our people. And I just want self-determination for our people and not no onion dip. And
can I ask you a question here real quick? And what is your name?
My name is Dave.
What is your girlfriend's name?
Christina.
And what is your little girl's name?
My little girl's name is Angelina. She's 6, going on 7 months old.
All right. Now, what is it that you guys, more than anything in the world, want? You want to be together, right?
Yes, I want to be together, but I want my girlfriend to respect our culture, too.
Does she have a hard time doing that?
Yes, she's always wanting to whitewash and Anglo up everything. And this is the most recent insult in long lines, the onion dip. She had ranch dip and that kind of thing. In a Super Bowl party, in the Latino culture, you can't have that, no onion dip.
I got to tell you something. I like onion dip, but then I'm Irish American, so I guess that makes sense, huh?
Well, that's because you grew up in that, But I didn't grow up with no onion dip, and I will not have no onion dip. I'm talking about self-determination for my people and self-determination for our culture.
Well, why don't we wait and see if Christina calls in, okay?
I hope that she does. I love her very much, and I didn't want nothing bad to happen, but I will not have that. I want self-determination.
All right, and you don't want the onion dip?
I don't want no onion dip in the house, no.
All right, buddy, hold on here. 1-800-449-8686. Must be my cold or something. I don't know. I can't hear anything. It's the Phil Hendrie Show. 1-800-449-8686. 1-800-449-8686, 1-800-449-8686, Phil Hendrie Show. We're talking about, is David, I think the kid's name is David, who's talking to us about his Latin culture. Dave, you there? David?
Yeah, I'm right here. No, it's not really, so much about my Latin culture as it is about, my girlfriend who had gone out, we left our home with my daughter, because I was just simply trying to have a good Super Bowl party, planned for them, and they didn't understand that that's our culture.
But you're basing your entire culture on the fact that you don't want onion dip?
I don't want no onion dip. Every party that I've ever been to, every Super Bowl party that I've ever been to, with a lot of my Anglo friends, they have this onion dip. It's like, it tastes to me like eating out of someone's underwear. It's not so good. So I said, when we have our Super Bowl party, I don't want no onion dip because I want it pure. And it's like whitewashing the culture. And tortilla strips dipped into onion dip, man, that's like eating out of some, to me that doesn't taste good. It tastes like ass or something. So for me, onion dip is not the way to go. I don't want to do it.
Well, we're waiting for your girlfriend to call in, and I'm sorry that you had a big argument with her. Her name is Christina, right?
That's correct, yes, sir.
All right, Christina, if you're out there, your boyfriend, and your name is Dave.
Yes, sir.
Dave has called our show tonight. And you're sorry about the argument?
No, I want her to understand, what's important to our culture and to our people. And please come home so we don't have no onion dip. And, please come home and not bring the onion dip or whatever,
But you want her to come home because she's with your daughter?
She has my daughter, and I miss my daughter very much. And I don't know what I did wrong, but I'm willing to learn, to live and learn, and to accept the responsibilities.
I mentioned to you before we went to the break that I like onion dip. I've eaten a lot of it growing up, and you said that that's because that's the culture that I come from.
I really honestly believe that the only people who like onion dip are like white people, because if you grew up with it, then you think it tastes good, but it don't taste good.
I've always thought it was the best dip I ever had.
No, it tastes like someone's ass. It seriously does. It's not no good at all. I don't know how to describe it to you. It's the worst.
To your palate?
To everybody's palate who's not Anglo.
Onion dip. I've always thought, and the ranch dip too?
Ranch dip is the same, not as bad, but it's the same thing.
Well, is Christina calling in? Probably not. You say she listens to the show?
She listens to your show every night, yeah.
Maybe she can't get through because the lines are full right now. And also, it's possible that she's angry at you, because if you got into an argument with her, and I'm going to say this, and you may not like me for it, Dave, about something as petty as onion dip, and I really think it's petty.
No, it's not petty because it's about culture, okay? It's got nothing to do with being petty. It's about our culture.
Well, I still think that hanging the hat of your culture on onion dip...
no, it's just something you don't understand, man. It's something that, to me, is something you need to live through, and then you understand it. But unless you do, it's not...
Well, don't blow up a good relationship with this woman, okay, based upon the fact that you guys don't agree on food. Huntington Beach on the Phil Hendrie Show. Hello.
Yeah, hi. I just had a quick issue here. He's all mad about onion dip?
Well, I'm just saying that I don't want it at our... the reason why we got into the argument is because she wanted to serve onion dip.
Yeah, I understand that, man, but there's a give and take in a relationship, It's not
no,
just one way.
I don't want onion dip at a party.
Well, I understand that, but maybe she wants something at the party also. You got to have give and take, man. It can't just be all your way.
It's to me, to my way of thinking, it compromises our culture.
Compromises your culture?
Yeah, onion dip is something Anglos eat. I don't have that.
Well, maybe she wants to have that.
Well, no, not in my home. Not in my home.
Compromise, man.
Not in my home. No, not in my home. This is a Latino home. It's not whitewashing my home.
So it's your way or no way?
No, hey. All I'm saying is, for a Super Bowl party, what are you telling me? A Super Bowl party is something that women are into? It's mostly for men.
There's chicks out there that are into that.
It's mostly for men, and that's why I said to her, at my party for the Super Bowl, there's not going to be no onion dip.
So you're
Okay.
disagreeing over onion dip.
Did
dude.
she
I mean,
did she get up and run out of there with the kid over the onion dip argument?
She said to me that I was controlling her. I said, hey, it's my party, you know, and I'm the man of the home, you know. This is about self-determination. I am the man.
Yeah, so it's your way or no way.
That's the way it is in my culture.
Oh, that's wrong, man.
Well, whatever, man, but I'm not going to have no onion dip. I mean, you know.
So if you're disagreeing about something as simple, something as petty and simple as onion dip, dude, what about the rest of your life, man?
Hey, my life is good with her, you know. We have our daughter and everything. But she said to me that she's been to so many.
Do you disagree on your daughter with stuff, too?
No, I don't. My daughter's 6 months old,
Does
you
she
know.
have to be dressed a certain way?
I
Like
tell
your
you,
culture?
what I'm talking about is that in my life, okay, that onion dip
seems to be the overriding thing here, though.
Onion dip is, for me, the self-determination is all I'm saying.
Yeah, but it seems to be the overriding facet of what you're talking about. She served onion dip, and it pissed you off, right?
Yeah, because it compromises my culture and the essential, you know, self-determination of my people.
Shelby on the Phil Hendrie Show. Hello.
Yes. Hey, Phil, if this guy cares about his daughter and his wife,
I want them to
why
come
doesn't
home.
he, just compromise with her and everything? You
I
know,
want them to
mean,
come home.
if they
Yeah, we
don't
already
eat
heard.
it, they don't
We
eat it.
heard the last call say exactly the same thing. Okay, the fact is you don't. It's a Super Bowl party for him, and
Look, man, let me explain something to you. Maybe your wife runs your house. My wife doesn't run my house, you know. Okay? And she's
it's
Mexican,
not even
okay?
about that. It's about keeping your wife and your child. I
Hey,
mean, think
she
about
walked
them.
out. All I said is I don't want no onion dip. She walked out. I didn't walk out. What do you think about her woman walking out? Because I won't let her have onion dip.
Man.
all right, we got radios turned up there too. 1-800-449-8686. This was part of what line is this guy on? You there, Dave?
I'm right here. Yeah.
Okay, hold on. 1-800-449-8686. Phil Hendrie Show. And we're talking to Dave, whose girlfriend left the house today because they had an argument over onion dip. Phil Hendrie Show, 1-800-449-8686. And we have my young friend here. This is Dave calling from Los Angeles. His girlfriend left the house today with his 6-month-old daughter because they had an argument. You say it was an argument over culture. It sounds to me like it was an argument, Dave, over onion dip.
No, it was about the self-determination of our culture. My people do not eat onion dip. And
it was about onion dip. It wasn't...
It was about, yeah, we had an argument about onion dip, but it was not about that per se. It was about the self-determination of the Latino population and La Raza, you know, so that my people can be free someday and not be eating no onion dip.
And so freedom is equated with no onion dip.
For Super Bowl Sunday, you may want to eat your onion dip, Mr. Henry. I'm not trying to tell you what to do, you know, because you're Anglo, you know. I don't have no onion dip in my house. That's all there is to it.
All right, Charlotte on the Phil Hendrie Show. Hello.
Hey,
Yes.
I think that is wrong. I mean, if you can't even let her eat what she wants to eat.
She can eat it what she wants to eat, but in my home, I will not have no onion dip.
Well, if you don't want the onion dip, then don't eat it. I mean, if she
I don't
wants
want
it, let her eat it.
Do you know what it's like to come into a Latino's home and see onion dip in a bowl, like in front of everybody? Man, it's bad. It's embarrassing. Do you eat onion dip?
No, but I'm saying
Okay.
that's her opinion, and that's your opinion. But if y'all gonna live together and raise a child together, then you should at least respect her taste buds.
I
you
do.
know?
I respect her and I love her and I make a good home for her. I have my own auto detailing business, and someday I'm going to be LAPD because I'm studying for my law enforcement degree. Okay, but all my homies will think that I've become all white or something if I'm eating like onion dip.
What's the kid gonna go through? My parents split up because of the onion dip argument.
She's the one that walked out on me, man. I didn't walk out on her.
Well, I don't blame her. I wouldn't live with some
Well, there
guy
you
who
go.
would not let me, eat what I want to eat.
Well, what are you sitting around slopping down onion dip for? You know, getting all fat and everything and sloppy. No man would want to see that. And all I'm trying to say is that she needs to keep, her thighs used to be nice. They're not nice no more.
Oh, no. Are you married to her?
No, we are not married yet.
But y'all have a kid and y'all planning on getting married, right?
Yeah, we're going to get married, right. salsa is
You
much.
got to love her for her. You can't love her because she's getting fat or something.
No, salsa is much better for the figure. It's got no fat like all that onion dip, though.
Oh, God.
Have you had salsa, like extra hot salsa?
Yeah.
Okay,
That gets sloppy, too. You can get that sloppy, too.
it's the bomb, you know.
What if she don't like that and she don't want that in the house?
Well, I'll tell you what. No, she's Latina, so she likes salsa, you know.
Okay, but what if you like something and she wouldn't like that in the house, but you really wanted that?
I'm-
Would you walk out and leave?
There's nothing that I'm not going to walk out and leave. I will simply say, as the one who is into self-determination,
As the man?
I'm the man in our family, yeah. That I'm not going to let. When I first met her, her thighs were nice, her butt was nice. Now she's into the onion dip. You know what happens?
Yeah.
Okay, her ass got toilet sloppy, and that's why. And she's piling down all that ranch dressing and everything.
Well, let her be what she wants to be and let her eat what she wants to eat. You can't run what she eats. You can't. That's like running somebody's life. Running somebody's diet. I mean,
Every Super Bowl party I've ever been to, they got onion dip. It drives me out of my mind.
Then don't eat it.
Well, what's it got to be there for? Why is it a slap to my face?
That is an opinion.
It's
okay?
like a knife in my
You
back.
don't like onion dip. She likes onion dip. That is it's a matter of opinion, not whether or not if you want it in your house or not.
You don't understand the Latin male. You don't get where we're coming from.
All right, man. Well, thanks for trying anyway. 1-800-449-8686. Riverside on the Phil Hendrie Show. Hello.
Hey, how you doing today, Phil? Are you there, Phil?
Yeah, I'm here.
Hey, how you doing? I like your show, man. It cracks me up. I love driving to it.
You're welcome, sir. Here's Durango on the Phil Hendrie Show.
Hey there, Phil.
Hi.
Hey, I want to comment about Dave there and the onion.
All right, well, get yourself a cup of coffee and you call us back later. Here is Salt Lake City on the Phil Hendrie Show. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I just want to make a comment about this guy, Dave.
Right.
I just think he's stupid ass for making a big argument over onion dip. First of all, I'm a Hispanic male.
Are you Latina?
Yes, I am.
Okay, then you understand what I'm talking about, self-determination.
No, I don't, because I love onion dip. Okay?
Okay, man, if you want to sell out your people.
It's not about selling out your people or my people, whatever. It's just about liking what I like. I mean, I really hate salsa, first of all.
Yeah, okay. Well, you sound like you're not really Latin anyway.
I am Latin.
Yeah, okay.
I was just brought up in America, you know.
Yeah, okay, man. Well, I was brought up to respect my culture. You know, I'm not here to,
This is America.
I'm not here to assimilate,
this is
man.
where you're supposed to learn about other people's cultures.
If you want to cop out and assimilate, man, that's your thing, you know. No,
yeah,
I don't do that.
That's what you think. That's what you think.
Yeah, that's your thing,
I still speak Spanish at home. I still celebrate my
what
father's
Spanish?
country.
What Spanish stuff do you celebrate?
We're Ecuadorian.
What's that got to do with it? Well, then you don't know nothing about Spanish food.
Excuse me?
What do you mean Ecuadorian, man?
You have to watch your language, sir. Thank you.
What did he call me?
You heard him.
Yeah, hey, man. You know, oh, man. That dude called me what I thought he called me?
Yes, he did. Don't worry about it, okay? Here is La Habra on the Phil Hendrie Show. Hello?
How's it going, Phil?
Yes.
David, I really want to... I'm a Latino male as well, okay? I'm from La Habra, and I really enjoy my onion dip on Super Bowl Sunday.
Yeah,
and I really don't
so
think
you're another guy that's copping
I don't
out,
really
man.
think that eating onion dip is going to let you assimilate into the Anglo culture, okay? That's
No,
just your own
I'm
ignorant
saying that all I'm trying to
self-speaking,
do, all I'm trying to do is make sure that my lady, hey man, you know, I don't have to talk to any of you guys. All I call up the Phil Hendrie Show to make sure that my girlfriend will call in, and you know, that I apologize to her.
Well, obviously she's not calling, so she doesn't want to talk to you.
Well, I'm here to apologize to her. I don't care what you think, man. You cop out on your culture and your people. That's your thing.
I'm not copping out on my culture, dude.
Okay.
You're just being asinine about your culture.
Why am I being that? I don't know.
There's no problem with eating an onion dip on Super Bowl Sunday, okay?
No.
That doesn't mean you're like selling out your culture or anything. Okay,
Hey.
nobody's asking you to be some sort of like carpetbagger or anything and just go, yeah, forget my culture or anything. Nobody's asking you to join the Klan or anything. Be proud of your culture. Be proud of la raza y todo. But don't be sitting there saying that if I eat onion dip, I'm assimilating into the white culture, because that's not the truth, okay?
Well, okay, then what is it?
Okay, you can eat onion dip. You're talking about food, okay? It's what it is. You're talking about food.
Right.
And
If you
food
don't say
is not that big of a deal.
If you don't say that eating onion dip is not assimilating, if you say that's not assimilating, then what do you call it?
I call it eating onion dip for Super Bowl Sunday. That's what I call it.
Oh, man.
It's just
I got to talk. I'll catch you later, man. You don't understand.
No, you don't understand.
Well, what don't I understand?
Look, man, you're hanging your hat on this onion dip thing, okay? Back off of it.
Well, all I'm saying is I want to see my girl, Christina, to call me up and please come home so that we can have our Super Bowl party. I don't want to argue about it no more. Come home.
Will you let her have onion dip or will you not?
I don't want it in my home. I would not allow it.
Christina, you don't need this guy. Don't even call him. You can find another nice Mexicano out there.
She's got my daughter. She's got my daughter, man. No, she's got my daughter, man. Okay, so I don't want her being staying away from me. She had my daughter.
And look at buddy, there are bigger things to fight in this world, bigger battles to fight than whether or not your wife has onion dip. And
Mr. Hendrie, if I could put it this way, and maybe to this brother, he's going to understand what I'm saying. For 21 years of my life, I go to Super Bowl parties. I see my white friends. And everywhere I turn, in every possible way, onion dip, onion dip, onion dip. It's everywhere. I have tried self-determination to get that out of my life. And they have the Lay's potato chips, Ruffles with ridges, all of that white Anglo whitewash crap, man. You might as well have a mouthful of ass if you're going to eat onion dip. I tried to get tortilla strips with salsa, the best way to eat a snack for Super Bowl Sunday, and people laugh at me. Even my own people, like this dude here.
Okay.
See what I'm saying, man? For 21 years, I had a mouthful of ass eating onion dip, man.
Listen.
And you dig it, don't you?
It has self-determination, man. Nothing.
You dig it, don't you, man?
Yeah, I like my onion dip, man.
Okay, man. Both of you guys can have a mouthful of ass on Sunday, as far as I'm concerned.
Thanks a lot.
All right, thank you for calling. I don't understand. You there?
I'm right here, man. I'm not hanging up.
Charlotte on the Phil Hendrie Show. Hello.
Yeah. Man,
Yes, sir.
what is the problem with this onion dip stuff? I mean, you're sitting here saying it's like degrading your culture.
Are you Latina?
No, I'm not.
Well, dude, first of all, onion dip degrades the very essence of the Latin culture because we eat salsa.
So
you know what salsa?
What you're saying is that if you don't eat salsa or whatever, you're degrading your culture.
No, not necessarily.
That's like
necessarily.
Saying,
I'm saying if
that's
you
like
eat,
saying
if you
that
eat
if I
onion
eat a
dip.
taco, I'm degrading my culture because I'm American. I'm not
no,
Mexican.
Taco's American food.
No, I mean it
American.
originated in Mexico.
Yeah, but it's American.
Say if I eat pasta, then I'm degrading my culture because I'm eating pasta.
Well,
I mean,
what is your
that's an Italian food.
What's American food?
American food.
Hey, turn the radio. Will you turn the radio down? Turn the radio down, okay?
I mean, you're sitting here and you're saying you're degrading culture and everything by eating onion dip.
Yes, that's right. That's right.
It makes no sense whatsoever. You're saying that if you don't eat food that's
I
from
bet
your
you eat
culture
tubs of onion dip, don't you? I bet you've got like big tubs of it at your house. I bet you do, man.
No, I
bet you do, yeah.
No, I don't. I mean, it's not something that I just sit around and eat all the
All right, well,
time,
look at good luck with your. Yeah, okay.
It's not degrading your culture
I
if
understand.
you eat a little bit of onion dip. I mean, you
all
need
right,
to
we'll
get
take
over
one
it.
more phone call here, and then we'll get good luck with your onion dip. Pasadena on the Phil Hendrie Show. Hello, and good luck finding your girlfriend too.
I want her to come home to me.
I understand.
Yeah, hi. Here's a comment I'd like to make. You know, he's commenting about his girlfriend's smooth thighs and that she's gotten into the onion dip and now she's fat. Well, did he consider that she just had a baby 6 months ago, and he's probably fatter than she is, eating all those refried beans?
Well, I'll tell you, when I first met her, her thighs and her ass were really good, and she got into
but
this.
But she had a baby.
So,
I mean, when you have a baby, your body goes through a lot of changes.
Hey, guess what? Madonna had a baby. Have you seen her ass? I don't think you have.
I don't think Madonna's.
Hey, she had a baby. She had a baby. And her butt.
I will bet you money that if you're eating all that lard-filled refried beans and cheese, you're probably fatter than your girlfriend's ever been.
Well, so I beat your point, and so you have to insult me. See, I'm all over you on your point.
Madonna has a personal trainer, and I don't think her boyfriend or father of her child is a detail specialist. I think Donna has enough money to have a full-time trainer that gives her the greatest body in U.S. history.
Okay, when I first met her, she wasn't rich and her butt was nice. What happened?
She had a baby, like this woman said.
What's that got to do with it? Like I said, all these women have babies. Their butts are nice. You don't need no trainer. You can jog. You can do leg lifts.
Well, but I don't think it was the onion dip. My point is, I don't think it was the onion dip that changed the look of her thighs.
She's got this whole thing about sour cream, you know.
What does self-determination mean?
It means to be, self-determining your culture, to be proud of your culture, to eat salsa, and to not have no onion dip.
But I never heard of anybody that was focused on one type of food to satisfy their culture.
Yeah, I got that question too. Why do you focus on that food?
Because, Mr. Henry, and to the lady that's calling your show, onion dip.
Do you eat pizza?
Onion dip has always represented a total sellout of the Latin culture in Super Bowl Sunday. See?
No, I don't see.
No, I don't. Do you eat pizza? Do you eat pizza?
Both you got what?
Do you eat pizza, Dave? Do you eat pizza?
Not on Super Bowl Sunday, no.
But do you ever eat pizza?
What do you mean?
Well, do you ever eat pizza? I'm asking you a question. Do you eat pizza?
Yeah, but what do you mean?
Well, pizza's Italian. So are you hurting your culture by eating Italian food?
What do you mean?
Well, you're saying you're hurting your culture by eating onion dip because you think it's Anglo. So if you eat pizza, does that mean you're hurting your culture by eating something Italian?
Well, what's your point?
My point is you're focusing on a type of food, saying that your girlfriend's effacing your culture by eating an Anglo food. I'm asking you, do you eat pizza? Do you eat pasta? Do you eat tomato sauce? I mean, do you eat anything that's Italian? So you're eating something that's not in your culture. So if you're living on refried beans and cheese and tortillas, you got to be a beast.
In what way?
Well, I mean, do you eat anything that's not Mexican?
In what way?
Are you not understanding?
What do you mean, in what way? What's your point? You're asking all these questions. Do you eat pizza?
I don't understand the question, okay? Because
what's to understand, man?
Do you understand the question?
Yeah, do you eat? Have you ever been to Pizza Hut?
Look, I'm not going to be ganged up on by a couple of Anglos, okay? Because
I'm not ganging up on you, man. I want to know. Do you eat? I'm just curious. Have you ever eaten pizza?
I don't get what you're saying.
All right, thanks for your call. 1-800-449-8686. Don't get what I'm saying. Have you ever eaten pizza? Have you ever eaten pasta? What's your point? It's the Phil Hendrie Show. Phil Hendrie Show, 1-800-449-8686. You know, the other night we were talking about Anchorage. Were they on, were they not? And they said they got a big kick out of us talking about them on the air. I heard from, I think, one of the operations people. And then the very first call we get from Anchorage, which was tonight, was from a complete asshole. So we're probably going to be looking in the weeks to come from better material out of Anchorage. What do you do for a living? Hey, man, if you work on a pipeline, it ain't no disgrace. I don't know. If you're taking people into the bush salmon fishing, fine with me. If you're tracking bears, not a problem. If you're going downtown and you're selling liquor to the Indian, whatever it is that you do, we just want to know what you did for a living. That's all. Everybody's got this thing about this show, and you'll learn if you're a new listener. People got this thing about the show that we do here that they want to be smarter than us. So if I ask questions, they think Phil's up to something, you know? All I want to do is find out about you. Sometimes. Be happy that there are days, not many, but there are days when I'm actually interested in what my listeners are doing. There are not many. I shouldn't say listeners, I mean callers. There's some days we have when I actually care what you guys do for a living, and what you're up, what you're up to as a caller. Most of the time, I'm not. So, take it and run with it. It's your moment in the sun. What do you do for a living? Well, Phil, I'll tell you, I run a girls' softball team, professional. I sleep with all of them. Whatever. 1-800-449-8686. Boy, listen to the noise out there in that room. You can hear it just pumping right through the door. Or is that me? Is that me 8 seconds later? Oh, the door was wide open. Okay. Anyway, so what about that guy with the onion dip? That guy was he was going off on that stuff to the point where I thought, he was going to, if he had any onion dip, it would be like toxic, like maybe it would kill him. Like maybe he got a hold of some bad clam dip and he thought it was onion dip. I don't know. Have you ever eaten an hors d'oeuvre or a dip of some kind and you had to spit it back into a napkin? It was so foul. And it generally happens when they're like weird cheeses or Braunschweiger. It's something, and I have to be kind, please forgive me, it's generally something made by someone who was born before World War II. There was an appetizer sensibility in those days that just does not match today's hotter, spicier, more exotic crap. And sometimes, I don't know, they'll bring their favorite dip or they'll bring in, this is my casserole. You're going to love it, Phil. And you eat it. I had some casserole one night that was made by a friend of my wife's, and she left it in our icebox. I thought, oh, look at this. It looks pretty good. It's casserole. It's got some kind of an Italian thing going on because there were some tomatoes and some Parmesan cheese. And I had to spit it back. I went outside and spit it into the flower bed. Well, same thing goes with a lot of Super Bowl food. I really believe it's the same thing with Super Bowl food because it's potluck and everybody's bringing something. Like when you go to a Super Bowl party, there's that one plate that nobody touched. That one dish that no one went near. Didn't anybody want my spinach dip? Who wants some spinach dip? It's one. Look, I don't want to hurt your feelings. I don't want any of the spinach dip. What do they call that stuff? Where you eat it with a piece of sourdough bread. You ever had that spinach crap, Mike? What's it called? Ramekin? Mike's writing down spinach artichoke dip is what it's called, Phil. And it's not bad if it's done well, but if it's done badly, it can be a searingly frightening experience. And to have somebody walking around at a party going, "Well, who wants the spinach?" It's gonna go to waste if you. That's the general idea. We want it to go to waste. Throw it away. Fridays does a good spinach dip. Oh, really? Well, I'm gonna have to get over there. They're opening up a Fridays where? I think they're opening up a Fridays over where I live, out in Westlake. There's one in Woodland Hills. I remember when I first went into Fridays, I thought it was the height of fine dining. I took girlfriends there. I thought I was at the Stuffed Shirt. Place in Burbank called Dalt's, great spinach dip. Oh, great. Now you guys got me on spinach dip. I told you I hate it. It ain't bad, Phil. Did you ever get a block of Limburger cheese and just lay it out? Oh, it's good. I mean, it smells like, but it's good. Hendrie Show at 1-800-449-8686. This is our big Super Bowl party. We're drinking tea, lemon tea. And a word about our show, since we've come over here to our new studios, we've picked up a few new affiliates. Just a word about the show. There's a line I like to quote from the movie Chinatown where, Noah Cross is saying to Jake Gittes, that is John Huston saying to Jack Nicholson, you may think you know what's going on, but you don't. Well, that's our show. You may think you know, but you really don't. And the other thing that it will become painfully obvious is that we don't let calls run this show. We run the calls. Now, I've been in talk radio long enough to have learned that talk show callers, for the most part, suck. And I don't mean any offense, but they just do. They suck. They're dull. They think they're funny. They're not. They try to be witty. Most of the times, they're not. Try to be informative, et cetera, et cetera. It's a painful exercise to hear it. So what we do on our show is we use the calls that come in the way we want to use them, and we use them to our advantage, and we manipulate them, and we stretch them and twist them, and we do whatever we want with them to turn them into something remotely entertaining. Because talk show callers on their own bore the living crap out of everybody within 600 square miles. Now, you may say the same thing about your average talk show host, and you may say the same thing about me. But the point that I like to make is I can bomb on my own. I don't need any help from anybody. So if we're stiffing and if we're stinking it out, we might as well stink it out on our own because we sure don't need no talk show caller calling up and laying a few eggs with us. That's what we do on this show. Does it sound hostile? No, because we love our listeners. And that's who we do our show for, our listeners. We don't do it for callers. Callers, we use you. We'll use you, abuse you, misuse you, and then toss you away like this styrofoam cup with this rotten lemon tea bag in it. And that's how it goes, so... And there are a lot of things that particularly, I'm not going to tell you what to say on the air, and my screener doesn't tell you what to say on the air. We generally dispense with all the hi, how are yous and everything else. But you want to do that? That's fine, great, whatever. I don't care. The first-time caller, long-time listener, that's great. Whatever you want to do, but be forewarned that you're not going to run this show. We run you. It's just that it's not something that I hope is going to happen. It's something that does happen. And continues to happen and has always happened, and there's nothing you can do about it. We run you. We make you sound the way we want you to sound. And it's all for the benefit of the greater listening audience out there who deserve some kind of original entertainment, which is exactly what we provide each and every night here on the Phil Hendrie Show. Now, speaking of Anchorage, we got some calls from people up there who said we're not all assholes, and I wasn't intimating that you were. Forgive me. I just said that the very first call that we got from up there happened to be from one, but we are very grateful for your affiliation, KADX Anchorage, Alaska, and we're happy to talk about you. And one of these days we want to go up there and do a CD signing or hunt moose. I don't know. One of these days I'd like to go up there and either do a CD signing or hunt moose. You want to hunt moose? You know what it's like hunting? Volkswagens. That's what a guy told me one time. It's like hunting moose. He said it's like hunting a Volkswagen. So we got the Super Bowl coming up on Sunday, and I sat here and I regaled my good buddy Mike Schaefer with my knowledge of the Super Bowl. As crazy as it is, I know the result of every single Super Bowl ever played. I know who won, and I know who played. And it's just a thing. I mean, I grew up, my old man played pro ball in Canada. Here's something a lot of you may not know. Some of you already know this, some of you don't. My father played pro ball in Canada, so I grew up in a house that enjoyed football. And I played a little in high school. I sucked. But I got to love the game so much. I like to watch it, and it's very male, it's very colorful, it's very arena-esque. It's a coliseum, a modern-day Roman gladiator-style spectacle. It's very television-friendly. It has all those marvelous colors and all those great gladiator uniforms with the big T for Titans and the horns for the Rams, and it's TV-friendly, and it's violent, and yet there is a level of finesse. So it's all of the things that people like to watch. I mean, when people who say they don't understand the appeal of football, those are the people that I wonder about because they haven't thought too much about it. And by the way, these anti-Super Bowl parties, boy, are those old. We're having an anti-Super Bowl party. Does anybody care? We're not going to go watch the Super Bowl. We're going to have an anti-Super Bowl party. What a yawn. What are you going to... So if you're not watching the Super Bowl, what are you going to have, man? Like a fashion show? Or what's going to be going on? Roller boogie? All the good-looking chicks, man, and all the best bands, they all watch the Super Bowl, so you ain't going to have none of that. You go to the most happening place on earth, Las Vegas, Nevada. What's ruling the roost out there? Sports! Sport. What do you think it's going to be like there in the Caesars sports book on Sunday? Oh, baby. It's going to be gorgeous. It's going to be fun, and it's going to be packed. Go across the street there to the old Barbary Coast. Barnaby Coast. Go over there to the Barnaby Jones. Go over to the Barbary Coast. Watch all those croupiers getting their asses kicked there at the sports book before they go to work. So it'll be a lot of fun, and I look forward to it, and I like it. And, may the best team win. Although it will be the Tennessee Titans. You can mark my words on that. Why? Because I know those Rams only too well. And, yes, I know there is such a thing as getting the onus off. Yes, I know there is such a thing as getting the curse off your back. And, the third time's the charm, or whatever you want to say. The Rams ain't got it. Even in St. Louis, they don't have it. They're the Rams. First, last, and always. When the Dodgers moved to L.A., at least they were winning some ball games in Brooklyn, right? So they kind of continued the tradition out in L.A. The Rams going to St. Louis, they're just carrying the same stink with them. All it is just like a whole lot of dead cats along the road to St. Louis from L.A., man. A whole lot of wilted flowers just, what's that? Rams went by. It's Phil Hendrie Show here. Our number, 1-800-449-8686, 1-800-449-8686. Phil Hendrie Show, 1-800-449-8686. Not that we're taking any calls tonight, but just in case. Just in case Schaefer gets in the mood, there's the number, 1-800-449-8686. So anyway, like I was saying, the wife is going to put together some of her chili. Now, this is New Mexico chili. I don't know what it is, but it's got pork in it. It's got beef in it. It's got all kinds of stuff that sets fire to every region of the body, every portion that it passes through. It's a searing, painful experience. It's like the Spanish Inquisition. In fact, that's what I'm going to call it. I'm going to call it the Spanish Inquisition because it tortures every region of your body as it passes through. It tastes good, but then after that, the hell begins, So she's going to make this stuff. Now, I know that there are a lot of very dear friends where we live listening, and I again, I don't mean any offense. Some very dear friends and some people that, we're going to be frankly glad to be moving away from, but mostly dear friends. And by the way, I'd like to say that my next-door neighbors are great people. Jamie and Roy and Barbara, you guys are great, okay? It's the rest of those jackasses on the street. But I digress. The guys at the guard gate, by the way, said that, right on, Phil. Remember when I was ranting and raving Monday night about those clowns? The guys at the guard gate are all like, yeah! I don't want to say anything, Phil, but we've got a pack of assholes living. I'm kidding. They didn't say that. Not much. So, you're going to get some of that really crappy chili. And it's like, have you ever seen someone eat something and their mouth is kind of half open? Just, God. Like they're looking for some place to spit it. That's what I'm afraid is going to happen. I don't know. It might be okay. So anyway, Maria makes this stuff. And then she takes that cayenne pepper and she grounds it up into fine powder and she throws that in there. Then she throws in some of those Scotch bonnet peppers. And the next thing you know, you're in hell. Hell. You're in hell, otherwise known as a hospital. What's the whole story with hot food? Why do people, it's kind of like drinking tequila. In other words, if you can slam it down, you must be a tequila drinker. And if you can eat hot food, you're some kind of a man. Did I ever tell you I walked into a restaurant once in Minneapolis, Minnesota? Some clown walks in with a big cowboy hat on, and it was a Sri Lankan place. Now, if you've ever had Sri Lankan food, you know this is the hottest food on earth. It's hotter than anything Mexican. It's hotter than anything. Sri Lankan food. Sri Lankan food is Indian food, only seafood. And they throw a lot of Scotch bonnet habanero-style peppers in it. It's just blisteringly, blazingly hot. This guy walks in, tall drink of water with a big cowboy hat and some cowboy boots. Must have been from Texas or some crap like that. California, some joint like that. He says, well, hell, this ain't nothing but pansy food. I can eat, And he grabs the big bowl of peppers that they got. And he leans down to take a sniff. And this stuff snorts right up into his sinuses, those red-hot Italian-style peppers, only it's 50 times hotter, 50 times more radiation. It's like sucking radiation. He didn't just snort peppers. This guy snorted plutonium that was, very unstable, right up into his... And the guy, I left before he came out of the... They said it was hours before he came out of the bathroom. He went in there irrigating his nose, his ass. He walked in. He was throwing his clothes off as he was running to the men's room. He had to bring somebody in there to irrigate his ass for it. He was in bad shape, man. The guy was literally running into the bathroom, throwing off his hat, his boots, his shirt. And this was this Sri Lankan stuff. And then they give you this mango drink. It's like a yogurt drink. Because they say if you're eating hot stuff, what you need is fat, for some reason, fat to cut the heat. So they give you this yogurt drink. Well, they don't give you enough of it because I can suck down it's a pretty good-sized yogurt drink, but I'm having the Sri Lankan stuff, which is 68 alarm stuff, and I eat it, and the yogurt drink, it's like a thimble. I need more yogurt drink. And, of course, you're waiting for the girl with the long Singapore, the Singapore air skirt with the beautiful face, and she's walking by with trays full of this stuff. And I said, I got to get a yogurt, please. Give me another yogurt. Please give me. How'd you like Steve Bozell tonight crying to his attorney? So, the yogurt drink is about, 6 ounces? And I sucked that thing down. I got to have more. I got to go back up to this joint. It's called the Sri Lanka. It's on Hennepin in Minneapolis. It's like nothing you've ever had, I guarantee. And why I go in there, I don't know why, man. I go in basically for nourishment. I want to eat and enjoy. I don't want to go in and live through the pain of like a voyage with Captain freaking Bligh. Just go in and eat and enjoy, But that's me. I don't hear no alarm going off, do you? I'll make that 5-alarm chili. Hell, they'll burn the hair right off the crack area. I make a chili. What's it called? Hell is in my ass. Lord help me. Hell has come alive in my ass. Chili. And I'll tell you, it's delicious. Oh, yeah, it sounds like a great experience. It's just wonderful. Hey, Phil, yeah? How'd you like the flesh to hang off the roof of your mouth? Oh, yeah, sounds great. Have some of my chili. My wife walked in the other night. She says, the inside of my mouth is blistered. I said, well, I know one thing that you had in your mouth. What was the... No, I'm kidding. I said, so what was? She goes, it was some kind of hot crap that we ate. I forget what. So anyway, that's going to be on Sunday, and we're looking forward to it, and like all that stuff there. Oh, man, I'm getting down. This cold, it's finally grabbed me. I said I wouldn't get it, but I got it. Give me another one of those lozenges. That sucks. Well. Oh. I've spent 6 months telling everybody that I know they are not only pansy, but bad. There's bad physical and there's just a bad physical and mental hygiene going on in your house. All you guys getting these colds, you don't know what I know. 6 months telling everybody that I know what a pack of pansies they were, coming down with this death flu that had everybody on their back, 186-degree temperatures. I mean, they're all messed up. And now I got it. With a half hour to go in this thing tonight. Well, I'm a very proud Latino, so I'll make it through. It sucks. You know, there's two things in this world I don't get. One of them is the American Cancer Society. How long they been around? Long time, right? Do we still have cancer? Yes, we do. The other thing is this so-called cure for the common cold. How long we had that? How long we had doctors? How long we had all this crap? They can't cure no common cold. I'm very suspicious. even more so than I've ever been, of the medical establishment. Why don't you guys just go ahead and set my broken leg, take out my appendix when it's about to rupture, give me that big open heart, whatever it is that I need, quintuple bypass, do the David Letterman on me, but save all that protective and preventative crap for the people who know something about it, which is nobody. I think I know more than you guys, though. I got a damn cold, and I know more about preventing disease than the average jack-off doctor. I ain't giving no more money to the American Cancer Society until you guys start curing some cancer, okay? Fair enough? Good. Every year I get those little stickers that I put on my envelope. Mr. Phil Hendrie, Mr. and Mrs. Phil Hendrie, Westlake Village. Little sticker you put on the upper left-hand side of the envelope that makes you look like you're 85 years old. I put those up there from the American Cancer Society. I ain't giving you guys any more money. You got to start curing some stinking cancer around here, okay? And I ain't putting them stickers on my envelope because I don't want to look like my Aunt Agnes. Hello, this is Agnes. Let me put the little sticker. Every time I get an envelope with one of those on there, I figure it's got to be from my Aunt Gladys or Aunt Agnes or somebody. You know, I'm looking for that Toronto postmark. And I'm always getting letters from Craig Taylor. He's got that stuff on there. What are you, man? You're rollerblading to work, and you got the little Craig Taylor. Phil Hendrie here, 1-800-449-8686. Phil Hendrie Show. Phil Hendrie Show, 1-800-449-8686. Let me see here. Okay, there's that. Now, I can't move this selector around at all on the DigiCard. The big RC220 remote, man. It ain't moving. I'm on Find Cut? Oh, okay. There's loops. Gunplay, leaf blower. This is just answer tone. Let me hear this. Okay, so what do I hit? Play? I didn't hear anything. Try it again. Which one is it? It's 2.
Oh, not DigiCard. There it is.
Okay. I apologize, folks, that this show tonight is just me messing with the equipment. No, it's not fast enough. Let's see. San Antonio, you're on the Phil Hendrie Show. Hello.
Hi, Phil.
Hi.
Hi. Listen, I've been living in San Antonio for about 3 years now.
How do you like it?
Well, I used to live in Fort Lauderdale. And
How'd you like that?
I love Fort Lauderdale, but since I moved here because my wife lives here, I like it. I like it.
Do you like it there?
But,
your wife is from her business took you there?
Nah, I just kind of like met her over the telephone, fell in love, and came over here.
Oh, really? Did it work out?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Where'd you meet her on the phone?
What's that?
Where'd you meet her on the phone?
It was some party line. It was a long time ago.
No kidding. Okay.
Yeah, and but when I used to listen to you and Neil Rogers on WIOD.
In Miami, we're on WINZ now.
Yeah, I know. I heard about that.
Yeah.
But I remember you talking about being a Minnesota Vikings fan and an LA Rams fan.
Well, I was. I liked the Viking. I liked the Dolphins, but you know, they have had problems, so I decided I'd go with the. There's 3 teams. I like the Dolphins because I lived in Miami. I like the Vikings because I lived up there, and I like the Rams because I grew up with them.
Right.
Notice I didn't say the Atlanta Falcons, even though I lived there for a year, because there's just some lines that a man draws and he won't. You know, there's just some depths that some people will not sink to.
Of course.
And one of them is being an Atlanta Falcon fan. So and I don't mean any offense to any Falcon fans. So I became a Viking fan because I remembered them. Hello?
Yeah.
I think you have a call. You want to go?
But, hey,
you can go ahead and take that.
I'm not going to answer that because I got a question.
So anyway, I got I got to be a Viking fan as a result of that. Yeah.
Right. Well, that's good. I was a Chicago Bear fan too. I was born in Chicago. But what I wanted to ask you was, Red McCombs owns the Minnesota Vikings.
Red who?
Red McCombs.
Uh-huh.
He's based down here. He's got car dealerships down here in San Antonio.
Doesn't he own the Spurs?
Yeah, he owns the Spurs. Well, he did own the Spurs, but he sold them to a guy named Holt.
Okay.
And he built the Alamo Dome down here. And he built that hoping that an NFL franchise was going to come down here.
Oh, yeah?
Now, he owns the Minnesota Vikings, and I happen to think everybody thinks down here that he's going to be moving them down here to San Antonio.
Oh, yeah?
What do you
think about that? Get that freaking call, will you?
I'm sorry.
What do I think about what?
What do you think about that?
About what?
Moving the Minnesota Vikings that have been there for years and years and years down here to San Antonio.
Well, do I think it's right that a team uproot itself and leave? I don't know. You know, there's the reality of sports, and then there's what we all wish it was. And we all wish it was tradition, and we all wish it was longevity. And for some, you know, people who, you know, honor sport, it is. And for others who, you know, don't, it's not. And the Vikings, I'll give you a hint, the Vikings never sold out a playoff game.
No, they never did.
They never sold out a playoff game when they were outdoors in Bloomington. So they built them a dome stadium. You know, and I guess they don't have enough luxury boxes, or there just ain't enough money because it's not a big market.
Right.
But I don't know, you know, what makes them think that San Antonio is going to be much better.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, you know, but hey, have at it, man. It probably will be. Nobody thought that Nashville was a hockey town.
That's for sure.
But I think, you know, the Vikings, if they're not selling out any playoff games in Minnesota because they were outdoors, so they moved indoors, and it's not really that much of a football town. As a matter of fact, Minneapolis isn't much of a sports town other than basketball.
Right.
Basketball is huge in Minneapolis. Baseball isn't. Hockey, they had a pro hockey team. They could care less. They prefer college hockey up there. It's a weird thing about that state.
Huh.
They're a hockey state, but they like college. They don't like pro. The only thing that they've embraced for many, many years that they seem to really enjoy is basketball.
Oh, yeah?
You know, the Timberwolves will always, I think, do well there. So let the Vikings move. I don't care. And take your phone call.
And wait, one more question. How come it is that, see, I think you're great. I think your radio show is fantastic. I've always loved it. But how come you got syndicated and Neil Rogers never did, and he tried all?
I don't know who Neil's doing business with, and I don't know who he's talking to. And one time, a long time ago, before I left Miami, I made the big mistake of suggesting to him that he move on to bigger and better things, and he got angry at me for interfering in his career and sticking my nose where it didn't belong. And so I made up my mind that I would never again, you know, advise him or, you know, bother him with bigger dreams than the ones that he's got, if those are the ones that he wants to have. Right. You know what? I don't know who he's doing business with. Obviously, if he really wants to get syndicated, then he has to do business with people who can do it right and not promise him a whole bunch of crap. I happen to be with a good company, Premier Radio. This company couldn't be any better. So anyway, take your phone call.
Hey, best of luck.
Bug off. Thanks a lot for helping out with the phone call.
Thank you.
We'll see you later. Okay. That's how we say goodbye to our callers in the Phil Hendrie Show. Bug off. This is a great company. I don't know what Neil's doing. No, you guys don't know who I'm talking about, but he was kind of a mentor to me and a great, great talent. And he's still on the air in Miami. And, yeah, he ought to be syndicated. And will he ever be? I don't know. If he wants to be, yes, he will be. If he really wants to be and wants to go and do all the stuff that you got to do. Syndicated radio, for me, was the only place that I could go. It was the only answer to my career. I had to do it. I had to get the thing up on the satellite and get syndicated to a whole bunch of other towns. You want to know why? Because my show's that good. I had grown beyond the tethers of the mere market that I was in. I wanted to do something larger, so we did it. I can't help it if other shows blow. We got a show here that's kind of unique, and so we do what we have to do. So we went into business with a great company, the Premier Radio people, and we're on at KFI in Los Angeles and KADX in Anchorage, my two most valued affiliates, KADX Anchorage and WNFL Green Bay. And other than that, the rest of them could all rot. As long as I'm on an Anchorage and Green Bay, I'm a happy man. Ain't WNFL the Packer station? You better believe it. Don't they have Packer Sunday? Oh, yeah. Ain't no football up there these days. My wife, by the way, just got done reading the Vince Lombardi biography, which as soon as I got done with the Elijah Muhammad biography, I'm going to pick up that Vince Lombardi. Somehow I think the Vince Lombardi one is going to be a little bit more uplifting than reading about Elijah Muhammad and the Nation of Islam. And if you ever put on the Irish tenors again, I'm going to kill you, bud.
Yeah, no.
I'll kill you. My wife's reading the biography of Vince Lombardi. My wife, who used to be a football fan, but ain't much of one now, but is kind of getting back into it, and she's reading about Lombardi, and she's asking me, get a load of this. She says to me, well, I was reading a part of the book where, I don't know who the hell is this guy, Alex Karras. I never heard of him, so I skipped that paragraph. I said, what do you mean you skipped that paragraph? Yeah, I skipped that. And then they were talking about some bum named Frank Gifford. I don't know who the hell he is. I skipped that paragraph, too. I said, do you read books, or are you just skipping paragraphs? Hell, man, if I read the way you read, I'd be reading 16 books a week. This is my wife. I skipped that paragraph because I don't know. I said, well, how could you skip a paragraph? Why do I need to know, she says to me, about some creep by the name of Johnny Blood or Frank Gifford? Who's he to me? I said, it's part of the story. I don't need to read that. I skipped a paragraph. Hey, while you're at it, Maria, why don't you skip that whole chapter there on, George Halas? You don't need that. It's about Vince Lombardi. So anyway, she's talking about Vince Lombardi to me. Vince Lombardi got his head coaching job with the Green Bay Packers. You know how old he was? He'd been an assistant coach. He'd been kicking around. They named the freaking trophy after this guy, okay? That's how big Vince Lombardi was. This guy had been kicking around. He was an assistant at West Point. He was an assistant with the New York Giants. You know how old he was when he finally got his big break? 46. You know how old I was when I got my syndicated show? 47. Talk about being at the right place, the right time, with the right tool. And I don't have the Green Bay sweep, but I got Bud Dickman, the Green Bay sweep of radio.
Yeah, you like me.
Jesus. I had no idea you were standing there, Bud, and you could hear what I was saying.
You like it.
So that guy went out 46. He went out. He won 5 NFL championships. Well, that's exactly the way this is going to go. That's exactly the game plan I have for my life and career. 47, I get syndicated. We're doing a radio show here that, people can't knock me for my age because this thing is hipper than half the crap that's out there by guys half my freaking age. That's the scary part about it. Some old freaking man, some far-out old man on the radio is doing a show hipper than half the stuff out there by guys in their 20s. Now, what has happened to this culture? Anyway, it's Phil Hendrie here at 1-800-449-8686. Phil Hendrie Show, 1-800-449-8686. 1-800-449-8686. Let's go to... it's Green Bay. Hello.
Oh, hi, Phil.
Hi.
Well, I'll tell you, this is a real honor talking to you. I live in Green Bay, Wisconsin, and I heard you talking about my town. I wanted to call up and just give you kudos from Green Bay, Wisconsin.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I love it here.
Well, yeah, I was talking about Green Bay because my wife's reading Vince Lombardi's wonderful biography, When Pride Still Mattered.
Uh-huh. Yeah, he was real big up here. There's no getting around that fact. I can get up every morning, and, there's one sure, clear reality to my day, and that's that Vince Lombardi was big here. And I can't get away from that. But
it sounds like you want to.
No. I'm a diehard Packer fan, and it wasn't always like that. I guess the reason what got me to call your radio show tonight is that one time I thought I was better than Green Bay.
Better than Green Bay?
Oh, yeah.
Well, how?
Well, I wanted to leave, and I wanted to go and see the big world, all the things that a boy will do. And I went to Milwaukee, and I got into some trouble down there. I always wanted to go down and see Milwaukee, and I left Titletown and, got into a little bit of trouble. That was during the Dahmer deal. I don't know if you were familiar with that.
Oh, yeah, that was a big news. Jeffrey Dahmer, huh?
Yeah.
I was living in the same apartment building, and you know, I'm not saying that I admired the guy or anything. I wouldn't say that, but I thought, you know, I hung out, and
I don't understand what you're saying.
Well, I'm gay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and you know, I went to a lot of the same bars and everything that he did, but I represent a good cross section here in Green Bay. We have a gay population, and we
do you guys? So, what is there, like a gay part of Green Bay?
Yeah, there is, and we have a newspaper, and so we try to do what we can. But that's not really why I called. The reason why I called is to say that I enjoy Green Bay now, and in my.
So you left your hometown and you went to Milwaukee, and you know.
Yeah, I thought I was better than them. I thought I was, you know, better than them, and now I know I'm not. I'm just another fella.
And you're gay.
Oh yeah, you betcha. I'm as gay as you. It doesn't get any gayer than me.
Living in Green Bay, it's funny, you know, the gay people that I know, and by the way, I'm not going to be one of these guys that says my gay friends, because I don't know that I have any gay friends. I not that I wouldn't want to have a gay friend, but I guess my life has become a little insular. But most young gay people who grow up in a small town tend to leave and go to a big town.
Right. Well, I did completely the opposite, Phil. You see, I realized that I was gay. And I went to Milwaukee because I wanted to see the big life, the big nightlife and everything. And I said, well, this is not for me. I wanted to go home, and I did. And so I'm part of, you know, the small gay population we have here.
What do you, I mean, is there a community?
Oh, yeah, we have a gay pride deal that we put off, and, you know, we have activities.
How many gay people are there in Green Bay? I mean, that's a hard question to answer.
Yeah, that's a hard question to answer. I probably about, I don't know. I know I probably, there's me, a guy by the name of Jim Llewellyn.
Wait a minute. Don't give me names, okay?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay, my question is, how many gay people would you say there are, gay men and lesbians, are there in Green Bay?
Yeah, well, I'd have to... There's me, there's 12, 15, I don't know, there's probably about 15 or 16 of us. And
15 or 16?
Yeah, that's the ones that I'm aware of.
15 or so, how many people are in Green Bay?
Oh, you know, a few tens of thousands of people.
Well, then how can it be 15 or 16?
Only the ones that I've met. Okay.
Well, then there's got to be more. Just because you've only met 15 or 16, there has to be more. Look, I don't want to get into a whole thing here. I just, I appreciate your call.
Well, I'm calling up to stick up for my hometown. It's wonderful. We like listening to you here. And I just wanted to say that, you know, I heard you mentioning Vince Lombardi, and that's good enough for me. He was a great man and had some great ball clubs. And
did you ever get out to see the Pack play?
No, I didn't. I just.
What else did you do growing up? Well, look, I'm going to let you go. Okay.
No, I please don't hang up.
Well, I have to go. Okay.
Well, you know, I just wanted to talk to someone. That's all. And
I got to go though. Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you more about the gay population.
No, I have to go. I'm sorry. What is the matter?
Well, I just didn't want to. I didn't want it to end.
You didn't want what to end?
Our conversation. That's all. Okay.
I'm sorry. It's time for me to go. All right.
Can I make a request?
Sure.
It's an old Green Bay Packer favorite. Diamonds Are Forever. Shirley Bassey.
An old Green Bay Packer favorite?
Yeah, I mean, I wear a lumberjack costume, but I like diamonds. Like
Diamonds are forever.
Oh, Christ, it's good.
They are all I need to please me.
Bye.
They can stimulate and tease me. They won't leave in the night. I've no fear that they might desert me. stroke it and undress it. I can see every part, nothing hides in the heart to hurt me.
Phil Hendrie.
I don't need love, for what good will love do me? Diamonds never lie to me, for when love's gone, they'll last on.
My friend, you're diverting from the attention.
Diamonds are forever, sparkling round my little finger. Unlike men, the diamonds linger. Men are mere mortals who are not worth going to your grave for. I don't need love, for what good will love do me? Diamonds never lie to me, for when love's gone, they last on. Diamonds are forever, forever, forever. Diamonds are forever, 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 forever.
Ty was just slapping his dog instead of getting some nookie.
You should come to my house and see the way I eat.
Are you down with the gay or not?
I'm totally just ignoring that comment.
Phil Hendrie.